Hi, it's Dr. Jamie Turndorf. Today's video is very personal. I had an accident last Sunday and I am lucky to be alive. I just came out of the hospital, and even though it's hard for me, it feels important for me to share what's happened and use the experience to help you understand just how much your loved ones in spirit are aware of your struggles and loving and supporting you across the thin veil that separates this realm from the afterlife. So, first, let me back up and tell you that last Friday I received 24 roses from Candy, one of my certified transdimensional grief resolution method coaches. Jean, my husband in spirit, actually sends her emails telling her when he wants her to send me roses. Now, Candy and I didn't understand why he made the request that I receive the roses 5 days in advance of Valentine's Day. It's said that life has to be lived forward, but understood backwards. And it's clear that Jean knew I was going to have an accident, and he wanted me surrounded in roses before the terrible event unfolded. So last Sunday, I fell from a ladder and I crashed to the ground and hit my head. And like I said, I'm lucky to be alive. When I hit the ground, I was screaming in pain in my right knee. And the long story short, I was rushed to the hospital and had emergency surgery on Monday morning. And my knee has been rigged with rods and bolts and plates. You get the idea. I can't bear weight on my right leg for 10 weeks. This was a hellishly painful week, to say the least. And because I don't take narcotic painkillers, I wanted to treat myself using my own supplements, and the hospital refused to let me do that. And as a result, I signed myself out on Tuesday evening. And as soon as I came home, I could feel Jean surrounding me in love. On Wednesday morning, my first morning, 12 hours later after getting home, Valentine's morning, Jean began proving his presence using a particular open vessel, two particular open vessels, two beloved little cardinals named Candy and Chuck. Last year in the spring, Candy and Chuck were sitting right on this couch, and they decided to nest in a mammy croton right at the edge of the lanai where I'm sitting. And they allowed me to share in that experience. They let me come nose to nose with their babies and video the experience. We are very close. And if I call them by name, they will come. But in the last few months, they've been gone. I think because I started to use boric acid to control ants in the lawn, and I think it made the worms move away. So the birds flew farther away because of their missing food source. But then this week on Valentine's Day, Wednesday, I'm lying in my bed and I heard tap, tap, tap. And using my walker, I hopped on my left leg and saw that Candy was tapping on the glass door of my lanai right here. Last Valentine's Day, I had a big TV interview, and before the show, I asked Jean what I should say to help uplift those who are grieving a loved one in spirit. And last year, I heard for the first time that same tapping sound. Last year, I thought it was water dripping in my sink, and I came to investigate, and I discovered it was Candy tapping on the glass. And Jean gave me the clear message: our loved ones in spirit are always tapping on the door of our hearts, asking us to let them back in our lives. So this Valentine's Day, Candy did the same thing. And mind you, Candy and Chuck, her partner, haven't been near my lanai for a year. But miraculously, Jean was moving them where he wanted them to be to prove to me that he was with me in my horrible ordeal. Chuck flew next to me and said hi, and he opened his beak. Candy flew on the fan blade just over my head, and then a little later, she sat next to me in a trance. Her eyes were almost closed. So it was clear to me Jean was moving heaven and earth to let me know through these precious open vessels that he's with me in my time of pain. So when you're hurting and when you're down, I want you to remember what I'm telling you today. Keep your eyes and ears open, the eyes and ears of your heart open to all the ways that your loved ones are using open vessels to remind you that they're with you in your pain, that they're knocking on the door of your heart, that they're begging you to let them back in so that you can hold their hand and let them hold yours and let them support you down the bumpy road called life. And if you'd like me to help you reconnect with your loved ones in spirit, reach out to me at askdrlove.com/grief relief and schedule one of the few grief relief sessions that I'm offering. See you there. Take good care.